Hello, hello, hello. So glad to have you guys here again at the CEO Corner. Have a wonderful guest, as always, lined up for you all. But before we go into that, want to make sure that I do a real quick commercial break. Want to make sure that you guys know how you can get a copy of this journal. Again, our guest today, she's a part of this fantastic compilation of authors. They have all given us 39 women really from all over the U.S. They're all powerful CEOs. Again, whether they're CEOs, within the home or they're a CEO out in the community in their personal businesses, they've all come together and given their power statement, their favorite affirmation, and they're talking about, how that affirmation has really had an effect on their heart, on their mind, on their journey. How did they, walk into success? How are they handling, life in general? And of course, our goal with the affirmation journal is just to kind of help every woman out there who has a heart and a mission to refocus her mind, ask the right questions, say the right things, believe with the right mind and right heart. So again, so excited to be able to bring on the stage next, Dr. Tadzia Dennis. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm loving all that she has done so far, right? So hold on. Her bio is fabulous. All right, so Dr. Tadzia Dennis is the owner and consultant of Taz Co Consulting. She has earned 5 degrees. Did you hear that? 5 degrees in her educational career, including an Associate's of Art degree in General Studies, a Bachelor of Science in Hotel Restaurant Management, a Master's degree in Career and Technical Education, a Master's degree in Educational Leadership, and a Ph.D. In Higher Education Administration. She has over 20 years of higher educational experience in student affairs, leadership management, academic affairs, and was awarded Faculty of the Year in 2016. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Dr. Tadzia Dennis. All right, Dr. Dennis, I'm so excited to have you here today. Let me pull you up real quick. There we are. So excited to have you on the stage today. Thank you. Again, I know that you're a busy lady. I'm glad that you're willing to take some time out again here today with us. And so please, tell our audience just a little bit about yourself. We've heard about your educational background, but I'd love for them to just kind of hear just a little bit about your personal life. And of course, what led you towards this, towards your journey as far as your education and what you do full time.
Well, Tiffany, let me start by saying thank you so much. It is an honor, a pleasure, and a blessing to be here with you today. You are a dynamic, fabulous woman, and definitely a blessing from God. And our relationship, I just love it and adore it so much. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you for reading my bio. I love it.
It's the same way.
Thank you for reading my bio. The degrees that I have, I work tremendously hard to get them, and I always display them when I do videos or when I'm speaking, because a lot of times I'm speaking to students or I'm speaking to individuals who may potentially one day become a student. And people don't necessarily believe that they can do it, and they don't believe that they can get there. And I tell them that they can get there. This is proof that anybody can get there. There was a point in time when I started college and I felt like basketball games and football games were more important to go to class. And I ended up on academic probation. A lot of the students that I work with and people that I encounter who come to me for assistance and help are afraid. They're afraid that they're not going to have the time. They're afraid they're not going to have the focus or the energy to be able to do it and to make it, and that they're going to end up in bad places, or they've already ended up in a bad place before. And I said, look at this. You can do it and you can get past it.
I love that. I'm going to interrupt for a quick second just because I can just so relate to what you said. So I have an associate in science, and it's in radiological health sciences, right? And so I initially, when I graduated from high school, I had a scholarship to go to the University of South Carolina, but I was not focused. I lost my scholarship and ended up having to join the military, and that is a part of my regrets. I don't feel like I have a ton of regrets, but that is one. I wish that I'd taken that opportunity more seriously But and again, just like what you kind of talked about as far as people not feeling as if maybe they can do it, I definitely, I have thought about going back to school repeatedly over the years, but I'm always wondering, like, man, can I actually balance, being a mom? Can I balance, trying to lead a career? Can I balance still being active and being able to enjoy some of the things that I give my time and energy to, realizing, of course, some of those things I'd have to kind of taper back. But, the question is, like, can I actually do it? So the fact that you display your degrees with the goal of making sure that people know that it can be done, I tell you, I just think that's wonderful. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to make sure I just said that real quick, because again, it's just a huge encouragement, and people need to hear that.
And I appreciate that, and it's tremendous. Your story is just like my husband's, where he was military and he lost his scholarship first and decided to go into the military and was able to continue to pursue his education after that. And it happens to so many individuals and so many people who really want to get the degree, but they're not sure of themselves. They're not sure of their time. They're not sure of their money. They're not sure if the timing is right now. And so in my consulting business, that's what I do, is I support and I help. I treat my students holistically, in that I'm not just there to talk about their educational desires and goals, but I want to talk with them about everything that they have going on. And that's why with Taz Co Consulting, the co part of it is that I work with other businesses to help my students. So if I identify that a student is in need of healthcare or is in need of financial assistance, I have a company that I go to who will have a consultation with a student for free for 40 minutes. If I have a student who is dealing with parental issues or grandparent issues, and they're having hospice situations or need to talk to a nurse, I have one of those individuals who works with a company who also gives consultations for free. I have therapists, I have editors, I have tons of people that I work with who will help me support my students holistically. Because going to school is a small piece of what you do and who you are. The saying is that 75% of all education is learned outside of the classroom. So what you're getting inside of the classroom is tremendous, and it's going to help grow you and get you to where you want to be. But outside of the classroom is just as spectacular and just as special. So I want to be there to support my students as much as I can. It was many years ago that I was married for 20 years, and the relationship was a really bad, abusive relationship. And there was one point in time where I had gotten really depressed. I was at home. I had quit my job because there was some issues at work that happened. There was a number of us who left, and I'm a shoe person. And I was just so happy to be organizing my shoes in my closet. And I heard a voice that said, Tadzia, you're going to change the world through education. And I was like, I'm in the house by myself, me and my shoes, And it said it again. And I stopped, and I didn't get scared. I wasn't afraid. I said, God, is this it? Is this what you want for me to do? And he said it again. And I knew at that point in time that that's what I would do. And so I focused my efforts. And even though my bachelor's degree is hotel restaurant management, I was a caterer for years for Marriott, for Sodexo. And that's my creative space. That's where I get in the kitchen and I cook, and I just love creating those types of things. But education is how I make my impact on the world. And it is what I love and I adore. I've been in every area of higher education besides facilities and the higher level ranks of administration. And I'm working on that, really, really hard working on that. And I love being able to educate individuals. I was recently asked, I was told by one of my mentors, you should start teaching for those who are in the doctoral levels and those who are working on their PhDs and those types of things. And so I was contemplating, is that really what I want to do? And of course, I prayed about it. Right now, I teach students who never thought they could ever get to that place. And I've taught these types of students most of my teaching career. I taught for another university for over 10 years. And they never think that they can get to this place. Students who are just coming out of jail, students who are single parents, students who are taking care of their moms and their dads and their kids and their spouses, students who are working 3 or 4 jobs at a time, who never believed that they could get a higher education. And for me, that is so much, and not that I love my doctoral students and my PhD level students, and I advise them all the time. As a matter of fact, most of the students that I get are at that level. But I love the fact of being able to help somebody attain a goal that they never thought that they could get. I used to say while I was teaching that my one job is to make the adult person who believes that they know everything have an aha moment, have a moment where they are just now learning something new and I can see it on their face. We sometimes think we know everything, adults, and I teach a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
people who are
Oh,
older than me,
yes.
a lot of people who are older than me. And they come in and like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I used to teach, cultural diversity, ethnic studies, critical thinking courses, all those different things. And they'd be like, I'm just here just because I have to be, because this is part of the degree plan. And I'm like, oh, okay. But at the end of the course, at certain times during the course, I can see them and they light up and they're like, really? I didn't know that. That's awesome. I'm going to do this with my team. I'm going to do this with my staff. I'm going to do this with my family. And that's when I know that I've done it, my job. But that's when I know that I've made a lasting impact that'll last forever because I taught them something new.
Let me ask you a question. So I had a couple of thoughts as you were talking. One, so when you're saying, hey, you prayed about it, is whether or not you would help, helping people that already obtained their degree to, take that next step. I love the idea that, honestly, you are helping people at the very bottom, right? Make their way through. But then also, I love the thought of it helping the person that just needs the very last step, be able to take that last step, to make it, to do the full stretch, right? I'm curious, now that I understand, I have a better understanding of how your consulting actually works. How have you been affected by COVID? And then do you only help university students that are there, to you locally, or do you help individuals all across the United States? Like what's your how far is your reach?
Understood. So, COVID, as horrific of a thing as it is, it allowed me to bring Taz Co Consulting to fruition.
Okay.
Because where everybody was sent home, I was sent home. I already worked from home a couple of days a week because I was an advisor, a senior level advisor who advised doctoral and PhD students.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did in helping them with their dissertations and helping them to get through that process. And so as we came home and I was at home all the time, I was like, I have this skill set and this mindset, and I'm helping people every day. I know that I can do this in a greater capacity. I know that my reach could be a lot bigger than what it is right now.
Okay.
And I know that I can help more people. And, at a university, you're very pigeonholed to this one group. Whoever you're assigned to is what you do. That's where you work. And that's how it works when you're advising. And so I brought forth Taz Co Consulting. I had tremendous support from my husband. And just making it happen. And my reach is far reaching. I have students who are in Washington, D.C. I have students who are in Alabama. I have worked with students in Africa.
Oh, wow. So you're international. All right. That's really
International.
cool to know.
Yes. I work with anyone who needs me, who says that I just helped a student with his dissertation, and it was just to make a couple of edits to add some things to a table of contents. But then I have a student who I'm helping step by step through the whole process of completing a dissertation. What questions do I ask my chair? What do I talk about? How do I get through the IRB process? Those types of things. So I help, students at all levels.
Okay, so if I were a business listening in now, and they wanted to be one of the providers on your list, how would they connect with you? I guess more, it's not so much about being able to connect, but like, how would I know that I would be a good fit to help provide services to some of the students that are, coming your direction?
I believe that students are just like us. Life is happening in all capacity, in all different ways. I have a list of businesses that I keep, that I have contact with, and we have a memorandum of understanding between us, so that we know that this is just kind of a mutual agreement where I'm referring students to them, and most of them have agreed to give students a free consultation, whether it's 25 minutes or 40 minutes. To find out if they can really help them. And that's where the connection is made. And then that relationship starts from there, and they go on and do their thing. I speak with and I talk with a lot of different businesses. I don't turn any businesses away because I think students may need a car dealership because they may need to buy a new car. Students may need
Okay, all
a
right.
mortgage consultant. Life is happening. So I accept everybody. I want to help in any way that I can.
All right. Well, that's good to know. I love that. When we're done with this, I have some things in mind. We'll have to
Amen.
have some other another conversation or two revolving around this. Okay. But time's ticking. I'm looking at the clock like, wow, we've already been here for several minutes. So I want to jump into this. Right. I want you to share with us one of your affirmations, and when you share your affirmation, I want you to share your heart behind it. Like, there's the affirmation, but how did that affirmation have an effect on your journey and what your outcomes was? So please, kind of share from that angle for me, if you don't mind.
Sure. One of the first affirmations that I have in the book is the only thing in life that can't be fixed is death. And I say that.
I want you to say it again. Say it one more time for me.
The only thing in life that can't be fixed is death.
Okay, I love
Being
it.
where I was in a place, in a space where I was trying to be a good wife, and I was trying to be a good mom, and I was trying to be everything all the time. I had gotten to a place where I could pretend so well. There was people who wanted to be like me, and I was a Jackson at that time. They didn't want to be like the Joneses. They wanted to be like the Jacksons.
Mm-hmm.
But behind all of that, I was in pain, and I was hurting, and I was suffering. And it was a constant, and I stayed trying to do the right thing and trying to be the right thing for 20 years. And that affirmation came out of that experience, and that I can fix this. I can change this. God has seen what I went through, what I'm going through, and he doesn't like for his child to be hurt in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to do everything that I can to change it, and I'm not dead, so I can fix it. I added that to the book because it just means so much to women, especially because we wear so many hats and we struggle and we try so much. And there's so many things that hit us from the left to the right, to the back, to the front. And it's like, how do I make it through? And how do I make these things happen? And how do I get past it? And it's like, it's okay, because you can fix it and you can change it. And if the situation is not serving you right, you can get out of it because you're still alive and God's breathing air into your lungs every day. So you still have opportunity to make a difference and to make change. And that affirmation sits with me. And as I was writing the companion course to go with the book, Affirmations for a Life of Zen, it's a course that's all about identifying space and time amongst the chaos, amongst the trials and tribulations, amongst the pain, and even amongst the happy times when you can just sit back and celebrate. Or you can sit back and you can think about, what do I do and how do I get out of this situation? How do I change my environment? How do I change my relationships? How do I do better by me so I can do better by others? God said to love others the way that he loves us. And so Zen moments are those moments in time where you can step away, you can find your happy space, even if it's for 3 minutes, for 30 minutes, or for an hour. You can find yourself and find your space and take that moment in time to just figure out your next steps, to figure out how you can change it. Because the only thing in life that can't be changed is death, right? So the companion course that goes along with the book I'm doing right now, I created that course from scratch. I completed it and just recently and so super excited about it, going with the affirmations that I added to the book. The affirmations book is a tremendous book for women, and just to help us move forward, just to help us to see how we can be successful amidst all of the things and all of the hats that we wear, all the things that we do. And the course that goes along with it just helps us to identify moments in time where we can gather ourselves, where we can find our peace and our space, where we can adjust our lives just a little bit, or figure out how to make the changes that we need to make, or figure out how to cope for the time until we can do better. So I'm super excited about the Affirmations for a Life of Zen. I'm super excited about the Affirmations of a Woman on a Mission book and the bundle that I have currently on my website. It's a bundle. It's a special going on right now for the next month. We're going to be doing a special, and I'm just blessed and excited to have it and be able to make a change for and support women where they are. And For the men in their lives who want to buy the class and buy the book, they will get something out of it too. So it's tremendous for all people, and it's a help to all people. So I'm super excited about that. You're on mute. I can't hear you. Tiffany, if you're talking, you're on mute.
Well, isn't that just special? Okay, so what I was saying is, I would love for you to, I want you to take a moment, and I just want you to speak, just speak directly in the first person to the student that's out there, or maybe even the adult like me that has contemplated going back, but has not made the decision to go back, and maybe even insert one of your other affirmations inside of your heart in regard to just helping them to be able to take that next step. And then from there, we're going to just make sure our viewers know how to follow up and get in contact with you. But I just want to hear just a little bit more.
Awesome. Okay. As a student, as a faculty, I am already so super proud of you. For the thought of coming back to school, for the thought of getting a higher and attaining a higher education degree, I'm already proud of you, because it takes a lot to think about that. It'll affect your life in so many different ways, and it will make changes for you, your family, and for generations to come. I'm here to support students who are interested in that. Even if you feel like you're too old, you're not too old. You're never too old to learn. Even if you feel like you're broken, or you feel like you're in a rough place, just to have class, to think about something to take your focus away off of the pain, something to take the focus off of all of the tasks and all of the things that you have to do, and put your attention on something that is going to make a difference to you. I'm here to support you in those efforts and endeavors. Even if you just graduated high school and you feel like you struggled through high school and you're not necessarily sure where you want to go and what major you want to take and what you want to get a degree in, we can talk about it. We can mind map it all day and all night. And I promise you, we can get to a space where you're comfortable and where you're super excited about the degree that you want to attain. If you're working on your master's thesis, if you're working on your dissertation, let's go through it. Let there be a second set of eyes who can support you in that and help you make sure that you're exactly where you need to be, and help you ask the questions that you need to ask to your committee and to your chair. I'm super excited to be here to support and help you. One of the other affirmations I added to the book is, life has a way of making you grow up, making you mature when you least expect it. We get out of high school and some of us go to college, some of us start living lives, some of us go to school and quit. And as we move forward, we progress, and we mature. And then all of a sudden we get to a place where we're like, oh, we're here. And where did I do all this? Am I really at this point in my life? Have I matured this much? And you think it's too late, and you think it's passed you by, and you think that you can't and you're too old. But I promise you, you're not. I have taught a whole bunch of students who are in their 70s and 80s and who just want to live the dream, to get it off their bucket list. And I'm here to support you no matter what level you are and where you're at. And I'm happy to be your consultant. I'm happy to refer you to my business partners. And I'm just happy and proud of you for even thinking about going to get a higher education degree.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so last couple of questions. If I were a business and I wanted to have an opportunity to have a conversation with you because I'd like to offer services, how would I get in contact with you? And then, of course, for any students that are out there that would like to have an opportunity to just have a conversation to figure out, where do I go? How do I get started? Where would they find you?
For everyone, I give a free 40-minute consultation, because not everyone may want to work with me, which I hope they do, but this is a mutual relationship. So I definitely want to talk and speak and make sure that there's something I can do to help. TazCoConsulting.com is my website, and you can find everything there. You can find the book, the bundle, the course. You can find all the consulting information and my contact information on how to get in touch with me.
All righty. So, with that, again, I thank you so much for today. I appreciate just being able to hear your heart. You definitely seem very, very sincere in helping students just know that they can. They have the ability. I love. There's, as long as you're lying, I can't. I'm paraphrasing, but basically, there's nothing that okay because you are alive, you can make the change. Basically, I know I'm not saying that at all. It's not nearly as eloquently as what you put it, but I love that. There's nothing. Okay, I need you to say it because I don't want to mess it up. Say it for me because I love it.
The only thing in life that can't be changed is death.
Okay, the only thing in life that can't be changed is death. The only thing in life that cannot be changed is death.
Death.
I love it. Okay, so
And
go ahead.
Tiffany, I wanted to say, with the new endeavor that we've got going on, there's some new information on my website for that, for the CEO book as well. And it's the Women Power Bundle, and it's going to go with the CEO, the Affirmations of CEO on a Move book. The companion course with that is Affirmations of a Servant Leader. So it's all in progress and work, and we're so super excited. And you can find as well.
So you know what? I've not said anything today about the new affirmation journal. So no, it's a great lead-in. No, you're helping me do my job. I appreciate it. All right, so our next journal that is set to release later on in the month of March is Affirmations of a CEO on the Move. Again, the name of that one is Affirmations of a CEO on the Move. Very similar to this, except that this is 76 days worth of affirmation. This one coming up will be about 35, 40 days worth of affirmations, right? But inside of it, again, it's going to be great information, really, power statements that are designed to help a CEO or a woman aiming to be a CEO, a woman who is looking to take charge of her life, to be able to take charge of her business. She has her goals and she is focused and determined to get there. And this affirmation journal is designed to do just that. And so if you pick up a copy, and I don't think I mentioned the website earlier, but it's at uncommoncourage.cc/affirmwomen. If you go to that website, you can learn more about Dr. Dennis. Again, it's uncommoncourage.cc/affirmwomen. Go to that website, click on her beautiful face, and then when you click on her face, you'll be able to buy your copy of this, right? But then there's also a link there for on her site where you can go and get the bundle. So again, she has a companion course that goes with affirmations for a woman on the move, but then looking forward to the companion course to affirmations of a CEO on the move. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we have just so much great, rich content for you all. Okay, again, if you're focused on trying to get to your goals. We're what? We're in the month of March. We're basically a quarter of the way into 2022. Again, there's lots of people that have already given up on their goals, but then there are lots of them who may have given up and have decided they're going to start again and keep going. Or there's some of you guys that started off strong January 1 and still moving, no matter where you're at. Again, I really do believe in the power of words, right? And I believe that in journaling, that by journaling, I think the combination of what you're saying out of your mouth, what you're penning with your hand, what you're confessing inside of your heart, I think the combination of those three actions really can help you set your course forward. So again, I'm glad again to have you, Dr. Dennis, here with me today. I'm looking forward to having you back again when we do the interview for affirmations for a CEO on the move. And again, I want to make sure that you guys go to her website so that you can pick up your copy of not only this, but the companion course, which is really going to be all about servant leaderhood. So thank you again for tuning in today. Thank you again, Dr. Dennis, for being here. I'm so grateful to have you as a member of the CEO Corner team. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Take care.